And yet another game. So what was our game? I don't even remember at this stage. What was this guy playing? He was playing... Oh, Purrely. I remember this. This is an interesting Purrely game. I do feel like my opponent had a lot of chances to win and he just didn't see them. But I open an absolutely insane hand, which is nice. Like, I can just kind of put everything on the board and really cause a problem for my opponent. So I go into Sunlight Wolf because I know that I have Book of Moon plus Ash. So my main thing is I want to make it so that I have at least a little bit of recursion that I can play around with. So... yeah, I'm going to set my card, set my Book of Moon, prevent it to summon so that I have that extra book, and then prevent it will bring another card back out. Now, he does My Friend. I'm a little bit scared here, and so my thought here is, look, if he gets Field Spell, that's where I lose. So I'm not going to stop My Friend because I don't think he's going to search Field Spell. Some people are playing 3 Field Spell. I saw DB Grinder play Field Spell, but not everyone is. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to let him actually resolve that instead of ashing that because I'm actually not too scared of My Friend. I'm more afraid of his Purrely search because that directly gets him the card that I don't want. So he gets out Purrely. I'm like, this is when I want to first hit, so I'm going to Impulse first, then negate second, go into Fire Attacker. He's going to Talents to draw 2. I try and ash it. He cross outs that. So cool, whatever, but I'm happy because Purrely still didn't resolve, and again, it's like, it's unlikely that he's going to just draw into that card. Like, it's only 2 draws, and this is great because now that I look at it, his 2 draws are actually pretty poor. But what's nice about Purrely is that even if your draws are bad, you can take advantage of them. Now here, he hasn't put Field Spell up, so in my head, I'm just going to keep flipping your cards. I don't even need to do the Contain, and this is a thing that I would make the mistake of before. Sometimes I'll do the really neggy, put the Preventer in the grave, special summon, blah blah, to get a big Contain and big Extinguish. However, he's got cards on the board, so I'm not scared of like Lightning Storm, Evenly, blah blah blah. And if I do that play, I have to commit so many cards. It's just easier to play it slow, play it safe. Just Book of Moon that he's put on the board. He's not doing any plays. He needs 2 monsters to do any sort of play, and he has to keep negging to put these monsters on the board. So Fire Attacker is going to draw me some cards. Why do I get rid of Prosperity? Because I want to kill next turn. So because I want to kill next turn, I don't want Prosperity. I know I've got Follow Up already. Econ is a more useful card. He's going to summon another card from the deck. I'm like, sure, that's getting booked. I don't care what it searches, that's getting booked. And then I put a bunch of cards on the board. He does get Delicious at this stage, but I mean, he's already had 2 of his whites booked. He has the other white in hand as well, which is actually really painful, and so he just scoops. But even if he didn't, I hadn't used Extinguish and Contain, so I still had 2 more pops from there. So no Field Spell. It's a bit unfortunate from him. I don't actually remember if I win game 2 or not. I don't know, maybe I do, we'll see what happens. But yeah, we start off, I'm gonna obviously go straight for that Fire Attacker. That draw 2 discard 1 does come up all the time. It's just a really good effect. Unfortunately, he does just not add to be smart, which yeah, it ends up working out really well for him. And then he sets Crossout as well, and the setting of Crossout is really painful because I try and Book of Moon this card, you'll see next turn, and his Crossout stops me doing that. So he absorbs my Fire Attacker. I don't really care about that. Makes a board. I'm like, sure. So he's made his board. I'm going to Book of Moon, try and Book of Moon. He's going to stop me. And then I think this is a little bit of misplay. So I impulsed here because I was thinking I could threaten Impulse and summon. And I could summon Fire Engine. So my thought initially was actually I could summon Fire Engine and then do a second summon. But I realized that doesn't actually help that much. Firstly, because he can just negate it straight away and then I've wasted my emergency. And secondly, because even if he doesn't negate it straight away, it's just Fire Attacker is getting me to the card that I want, which is Impulse or Hydrant. I'd rather just summon the Impulse and threaten the on-field Impulse effect. So he's going to use his effect. I'm going to trigger Impulse and I'm going to summon out Hydrant. Why do I summon out Hydrant? Because I want to force him to interact with it. Now, if I think his ideal play here would have been just to out the Hydrant straight away. If he outs Hydrant straight away, it's like, it's not doing much basically. The Hydrant, it's a useless card until it searches. So because it's not a quick effect, because it's not a trigger, it's not going to happen just as I summon it. You just out it and then your opponent can't do much. But as soon as I norm summon Airlift, it becomes a threat, and he doesn't out it, which I think does punish him. So I go for Prosperity. I see Duster. Duster's amazing. Duster's what I want. I don't want him to have any follow-up. So Duster's the most important card here. I don't care if he's going to imp my Airlifter because I have Hydrant and Airlifter. So I go for Duster. Then I go for the search here just to make sure my Airlifter resolves. Because this is the other thing. Stopping Hydrant doesn't matter if Airlifter resolves. And now Airlifter definitely resolve unless he has a Vader or something in hand, which he doesn't. So I go for my Airlifter. He bounces Airlifter, but I don't care because I get Alert, and Alert means I have full combo here. And he's used both his cards, so it's just going to be Turbulence. And here I know that the only thing I'm scared of is him having a random Veiler, Moonlit, Nib in hand, but it's like you can't play around everything. I think I have kind of kept my resources quite well here. So I'm going to kill that. Now, I actually do think what I do here is a little bit of a misplay in that I go for the Relinquished Anima to destroy the Beauty. What probably would have been smarter would have been to reset Extinguish, pop it. Would have been to reset Extinguish and then pop it, but is what it is. It ends up being a little bit of a misplay. But as you can see, I don't prioritize getting Extinguished back anyway with my set 4 just because of happy memory. So many cards right now don't care about being popped, or so many decks have ways to protect from being popped, and this is another deck that it just makes it not as useful. So I'd rather have the Book of Moon from Preventer and then just have extra kind of summons. So that's why it's like I just leave it in grave. I'm like, I'm not that bothered about it. But even here, I know he's playing on the back foot. I can play really aggressively, especially as he's siding going first. So as soon as he summons something, I'm going to try and contain it. He Book of Moons it, but I actually don't mind him Booking the Mooning that. It doesn't really matter, because that means that he has to get another copy of Lily on the board to even play, and then have a card in hand for maybe his regular Purrely. So I'm okay with that. Now, he's going to draw. I think he makes an absolutely huge misplay that I don't really understand here. If I was him, I would have just straight up activated the Field Spell. I think if he activates Field Spell here, he probably, at the very least, makes a Zeus or something. I have got Retaliating Sea, which is great, but for some reason he doesn't. So he's going to go into My Friend. He's going to search Purrely. He's going to normal summon the Purrely. And yeah, from there, I'll say it's pretty much a wrap, because he normal summons Purrely. I think I summon Preventer from deck and book it. I might wait for his Happiness first, but yeah. So yeah, emergency, summon Preventer. I Book of Moon his card as soon as he summons it. And that's why I was a bit confused, because I was even thinking, oh, you did have it this whole time. But yeah, I Book of Moon it and he just scoops there. But guys, that was Rescue Ace versus Purrely. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.